Greetings to you all, your boy Chartmaster here. Welcome to Chartmaster FX. Today we are going to look at journal article number 3, which is the price action zones, PAZ, PAZ. This is actually one of the building blocks at Chartmaster FX, and it actually connects everything and helps us to read the market and have a better prediction of where price is more likely to go. So let's look at the general information concerning the price action zones. So price action zones help us to read the market precisely. It gives us the edge in the market. Price action zones are historical failure to return or a flag limit zone that distinct price action. So these are the building blocks of price action zones. We need to know about failure to return, which is what we call FTR, and you also need to know about the flag limit, which is what we call the FL. So these are the ones that helps us to be able to draw some price action zones. So the space within the zone are called free flow areas. We are going to understand that as we go deeper in this journal article reflection. Before learning about price action zones, it is of paramount importance to understand the FTR and the FL concept. So at the end of this presentation, you must be having a full understanding of what an FTR is and what a flag limit is. Price action zones can also be used for trend continuation trading. Those who like trading along the trend, price action zones can be able to help you to actually detect the end of a retracement. So if you have a knowledge about the price action zones, it might help you as a trend trader. So let's go to the definition of team. So you see that there are some elements that we are going to be talking about in this journal article. Like if you look at a king is one of the terms that we use at Chartmaster FX. So you just need a familiarity of what we mean when we are saying that there is a king on price. So a king is simply a reaction of price to the immediate historical supply or demand. You understand this as I actually explain more on the chart anatomy and also on the charts that we find on the real market. So then we need also to know that an FTR occurs when price fails to engulf immediately the resistance line soon after breaking it. A flag limit occurs when price engulfs the resistance line immediately after the break of the resistance line. So guys, these are the three main aspects that actually helps to explain or to come up with the price action zones. So you need to understand the king, you need to understand the FTR, you need to understand the flag limit. So let's go straight to the anatomy of the FTR and the flag limit. So guys, you can see here we have our failure to return, which is FTR. And on this anatomy, guys, you can see that here we have a rally in price, and the price actually made a cap here, and the price finally dropped down. So once the price dropped down, you can see that the price rallied up. As the price rallied up, it failed to come back to engulf this resistance line. So this is what we call failure of price to return to supply. That's why we call it failure to return FTR. So it actually created a kink. This is what we call a kink, a reaction of price after the supply was engulfed. Okay, so this is a kink. Once we have a kink, then we have our price action zone. So you now be able to draw your price action zone. Take note that this is history. This is history. You can be able to see these things on your charts, and you can be able to draw. First thing, you identify your supplies and demands. Then you draw your price action zones. Once you draw your price action zones, then you wait for the price to come to that zone. Then you can be able to see the behavior of price. So here, once a kink is formulated here, this this high must be broken, and finally the high was broken, and it created a new higher high. So this is a valid flag failure to return. So maybe if a kink is created here and the price fails to break here and comes down, it's no longer a flag limit. A flag limit is no longer a failure to return. A failure to return, it actually breaks supply here and fails to return to supply, and it creates a kink. Once it creates a kink, then it breaks here, it creates a new higher high. So that's how we can validate that this is an FTR. So let's go to the example of a flag limit. So on the flag limit, guys, you can see here that the price rallied up and we made a cap here and it dropped down. Once the price dropped down here, we had our supply here. So we are having our supply here. So what happens is that the price actually went up and it was able to engulf this supply or this resistance line, and immediately after breaking up this, the price will come down and engulf this resistance line. Once this resistance line has been engulfed, the price was able to rally up and it actually braked this high. So once there's a break of this high and the price, when it break down and came to engulf this one and it went up to create a higher high, then we can be able to validate that this is a flag limit. If the price comes here and engulfs this resistance line and fails to create a new higher high, then we can invalidate that as a significant flag limit. So those are the conditions that you have to look. So once you see, so this is what we call a kink, a reaction of price in relation to this resistance line. So once we see a reaction of price here, then we can be able to draw our price action zone. So take note, the price will be going up. So once the price is now coming down, then you can see the behavior of price. It is actually comes to this price action zone. So guys, I think maybe now you can understand these things. There is a difference, as you can see, guys, that when price break this resistance here, the price goes up and creates a kink later. You see, it creates a kink later. So we will be saying the prices failed to go back here to engulf it. But here on the flag limit, as you can see, guys, as the price broke this resistance line, it actually came back earlier. Here the price created a kink later. Here the price created a kink earlier. Here the kink. Here the price did not engulf the resistance line. Here the price engulfed the resistance line. So this is the general anatomy of the flag limit and the FTR. So I think you have mastered these things. So if you want these things to sink in your head, you need to go to the chart and develop at least 5 flashcards on each of these. Then you can be able to understand the concept. Once you understand this concept, then you can know that you can be able to draw your price action zones without any challenge. So when we are doing a comparison between the failure to return and the flag limit, these are some of the differences and there's some similarities that we can be able to see on these two things that we use at Chartmaster FX, which actually forms the epitome of our trading. So guys, as you can see here, there should be a resistance line of at least one touch. As you saw guys on our chart example, there was even at least one resistance line, one touch is considered valid, and here you can see there should be a resistance line of at least one touch. You have seen guys on the anatomy, you've seen that. And here we can see on the failure to return, the price breaks the resistance line and fails to return to that particular line. So as you have seen guys, the price fails to return to that supply. So that's the condition of the failure to return. And the flag limit, the price breaks the resistance line and returns and engulfs the line. So the line is engulfed immediately before the price rallies up. So this is the difference. As you can see on the first one, we had a similarity between the failure to return and the flag limit. On the second one, we can see that we have a difference of these things, and we can also see that on failure return, a king is created above the resistance line. And then on the flag limit, a king is created on the resistance line. So those are notable differences that you need to spot in the market as far as the flag limit and failure to return concepts are concerned. So another thing guys, that the price then creates a higher high. The price creates a higher high. So there's a similarity here. So this is a similarity between the two. This is a difference between the two. This is a difference between the two. This is a similarity between the two. So guys, this is how you can be able to distinguish between these two concepts, and these things works almost the same. What you just need to understand is how they are formulated. Okay, so now let's go to the terms and conditions for the price action zones. So these are the conditions guys, these are the conditions. Condition number one, mark the higher highs or lower lows of supply and demand. Once you mark those, then draw the resistance line and support lines for the higher highs and the lower lows. Identify the FTRs and the flag limits. Draw the price action zones. Assess the behavior of the price when it comes back again to the market zone. This is what we call reading the market. Once the price breaks into a price action zone, engulfs an FTR or a flag limit, it gives an indication that the price wants to go to the next zone. So you are going to see what I'm trying to say as we go to the chart examples. So without wasting much of the time, let's go straight to the chart examples, and you can be able to see the mystery that I'm talking about here. So on example number one, guys, we are on volatility 75 index on H1 time frame. So guys, this is how you draw your price action zones. You start here at the top here. So you have seen the price. Look at this guys, you can draw a separator here, a separator. So currently our price is here. This is where our price is guys. So we have all this history, we have all this history. So this is what you do guys, you draw your resistance lines. So what you do guys is that you come here, you see here we have a left shoulder here, and what happened is that as you saw on our anatomy guys, once you identify this, then you can be able to draw your resistance line. You identify another one here, you draw your resistance line. You identify another one, you draw your resistance line. You identify another one, you draw your resistance line. You identify another one here, you draw your resistance line. You identify another one here, you draw your resistance line. Okay, this is how you draw these resistance line, guys. So once you do that, then as you number, so what is a price action zone? So a price action zone is basically an FTR or a flag limit. So this is how you draw these price action zones. So you start from the upside here going down. This is how you draw your price action zone. Price action zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So this is what happens, guys. As you can see here, you have drawn your line of resistance. So what happened here is that you can see that here the price went up and came down and created a higher high. So this one qualifies as a flag limit. So you draw here to the low, you draw your order block kind of, which is your price action zone. Then you look at this resistance line. The price went up and failed to return here, and it created a new higher high. So you draw your price action zone, and this one is a FTR because it failed to return here. So you need to give your zone some space, some free flows. Yeah, they don't need, there's no need for them to be engulfing, intersecting each other. You need just to leave some space so that there should be a free flow. There should be a free flow here. So if you check here, what happened here on this resistance, the price was able to break here and it came down, engulfed this resistance line. So on the bottom of it, you draw your price action zone. And this one you're not able to draw it. Why? Because there would no space there that will be left. So you need to ensure that your price action zones, you leave some spaces here so that it doesn't confuse you. There should be a certain space here, so you make a decision. So these things, they are more subjective to some sort, because maybe you may actually identify this as a price action zone and you say maybe you want to skip this one. So it actually takes experience on how to draw these things, because sometimes there's a subjectivity, a mentality in it. Because what we need to ensure is that your price action zone, they are not actually more congested. There should be a space. There should be a space somewhere, somehow. So it takes skill to know how to draw these things, and how to qualify that maybe I have to leave this one so that for the sake of some free flows of price. Okay, so here, guys, you can see here on this resistance line, the price went, it break up and it engulfed it again. So we were able to draw our price action zone, and this is what we call a flag limit. So you draw your, so price action zones are a combination of flag limits and failure to return. So once you draw your price action zones, guys, you now, the price is now here. So the price is now coming down, guys. It's now coming down. So guys, listen very carefully here. Listen very carefully. So you have drawn your price action zones. So what happens is that the price engulfs this first price action zone. Once it engulfs this price action zone, the price engulfed this price action zone as well before retracing back. And you can see that the price retraced back to this price action zone. So price action zones can be used for you to be able to see the depth of retracement. So they came back to this price action zone and the price dropped it down. So this is what you need to consider, guys. Once this price action zone is broken, what the price is telling you is that I'm coming for the price action number 2. Once you see the break of this, it means the price is more likely also to break the next one. So this is how the concept works. So here this price action zone was able to hold the price came down, it failed to break this price action zone here. It came up, and this price action zone actually was able to hold it. It did not even reach here, and we see that price action zone was finally engulfed. So once you see an engulfment of price action 3, it means that the price is more likely to go to price action zone 4. So the price came and also was able to engulf price action 4, and it actually retraced, and this price action zone 3 was able to hold the price, and it did not even reach the price action zone 3, and it dropped it down. So here you can see, once you see that your price action zones, they are all consumed, then you may consider taking out most of your partial profits, because when your price action zones, they are finished, then you know that the price can do whatever it wants, because the price action zones are over. So maybe you may decide to take most of your profits here, maybe you can leave some to run. So price action zones may help you actually for target profits, and just to have a general knowledge of how the price is actually moving on that particular moment. It might help you to come out in some trades, maybe when you see that maybe there is the price has failed to break this price action zone for quite a long time, then maybe you may decide that maybe I have to close most of my profits. So price action zones, guys, it's a powerful technique, guys. It's a powerful technique. I'm just giving you some highlights of price action zone, guys. So this was actually outside this course, but I just decided, guys, to help you to have this understanding, guys. I just decided that I have to give you this knowledge so that you can just have a general knowledge of how these things works, and it might help you as you trade in the market. Okay, guys, let's go to example number 2. On example number 2, we are on volatility 75 index on H1 time frame. So here, guys, you can see that we have our price action zones here, our resistance here. So the first thing that you have to do is to draw your resistance lines. Once you draw your resistance lines, then you can be able to draw your price action zones. So guys, as you can see here, that we had a left shoulder here, with the left shoulder here, and we draw our resistance line. So what happened is that the price was able to break that left shoulder, and it went and engulfed it. Once it engulfs it, you draw your price action zone. Okay, so the technique, actually, this is how I do it. I identify all those left shoulders. We have a left shoulder here. What happened to this left shoulder? Okay, before I see what happened to this left shoulder, I come to this one as well. I have a left shoulder here. I draw my resistance line. I came here. I have a left shoulder here. Draw the resistance line here. I have a left shoulder here. I draw some resistance line here. I draw a left shoulder here. I draw a resistance line here. Once I draw this resistance line, then I can be able to draw my price action zones. So my price action zones. So as you draw your price action zones, you start here on the top here. So you draw your price action zone here. So you can see here, guys, that the price broke this resistance line. Once it broke this resistance line, it came and engulfed it and actually formulated a flag limit. Once we have a flag limit here, we can see that there was a higher high that was actually made here. So once we have a higher high here, then we can be able to draw our price action zone. So here, guys, you can see here on this resistance line, the price was able to break this resistance line and created a high, and it came to engulf this resistance line. Once we see an engulfment of this resistance line, then the price was able to create a higher high. Once we see that there's a higher high here, then we see that the validity has been seen. So now we can see, guys, that now we can draw your price action zone here. come to this one, the resistance here, the price broke up, came to engulf with a flag limit, draw your price action zone. Here we can see we have a left shoulder here, the price reacted here, there's a kink here, you draw your price action zone. Here on this left shoulder, price reacted somehow, you draw your price action zone. Why? Because price came here, it came down, created a higher high, so it validates the price action zone standards. So here guys, you can see also here the left shoulder here, it engulfed before it created a new higher high. So you draw your price action zone, guys. So once you have your price action zones, guys, then now the price somewhere here, somewhere here now. So you see what happens to the price. Now you can see that price action zone here was engulfed. Once price action zone 1 is engulfed, what the price is telling you is that we are coming for price action zone 2. Once you see an engulfment of price action 1 zone, then you know that PAZ2 is now going to be taken. It's the next target. So the price came and engulfed price action zone number 2, and it came and consumed price action number 3. But before engulfing price action number 3, it actually went up. It engulfed price. It was engulfed. It was held by price action 1, and the price dropped and finally engulfed price action zone number 3. Once price action zone number 3 is engulfed, then we know that the next target is price action zone number 4. So the price came here to retest just a little bit, and it came down and engulfed price action number 4. Once price action zone 4 was engulfed, so the price now is targeting price action zone 5. It came, so the price came back here, and price action zone and retracement, the price came also down to engulf price action zone 5. Once price action 5 was engulfed, the price also engulfed price action zone 6, and the price came here. Price action zone 5 was able to hold the price, and the price went down. So guys, once you see that all your price actions have been consumed, it is advised that you need to take most of your profits here and maybe leave some of your profits running, because once the price action zones they are consumed, then we never know what may happen to price. We never know what may happen to price. So guys, you may take your partial profits there, and maybe you can leave just some few trades to run. So guys, these are just the basic guys of the market structure. Reading the market, guys. This is what we call reading the market. So yeah, these are the basics of price action zones. I think they are going to help you a lot just to understand price behavior, guys. You see, you don't need the indicators, guys. Use your eyes, not the indicators, guys. Use your eyes. So you need to go on charts and be able to identify these things yourself. Once you can be able to identify these things yourself, guys, then I can assure you that you are going to read the market like a pro. So thank you guys for listening to this presentation. I encourage you all to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be able to see our next coming videos. And by the way, we are having a Telegram channel, and we have already started classes there. Those who are willing to join for free, you may come and join other students as we go through this course, so that guys, you can be able to have a better understanding of the market, and at the end of the course you can be able to draft your own trading plan, because we have many standard operating procedures that we trade. So once you finish the course, you may be having now an idea of how you can be able to trade successfully on the markets. So yeah, it's your boy Chatmaster signing out.